After years in the shadows, she had finally found the love and acceptance she'd always craved.
She was hope for a lot of people, just speaking out about the trans community.
She's dating someone. She has a boyfriend.
He'd be in and out of town, but the two of them really made an effort to see one another.
After all the struggles she had been going through, she was finally out in the world, publicly living her best life.
But the start of her bright new life is tragically cut short.
Oh my God, oh my goodness, somebody killed somebody. She dead.
There were no witnesses, there were no cameras. They were having a very difficult time trying to piece together what had happened.
In the hunt for the killer, detectives find themselves on a winding road of suspects and motivations.
She had actually been brutally assaulted just a month prior.
The video had gone viral, internationally viral.
The FBI had to get involved as they were investigating it as a hate crime.
But their search for the truth soon spirals into something much darker.
A lot of those guys are very insecure. They want to keep it all behind closed doors.
She notified his wife about their relationship.
Just by doing that alone, it's like a target on her back.
That was the last words she said to me. If it's my time to go, it's my time to go.
He's a suspect in 2 other murders.
He's got these impulses to kill.
May 18, 2019, Dallas, Texas. In the early morning hours of this balmy Saturday, the city is beginning to stir.
Several of the city's residents were still fast asleep, but others were on their way in for early morning shifts at their jobs.
And Dallas police are already hard at work.
Dallas is a big metropolitan city, so you see it all. You see everything from, you know, your little crimes and traffic stops to your big murders. It's just a big metropolitan city up there with New York and every other big city.
At 6:40 a.m., a 911 call comes in that will send this casual Saturday into overdrive.
Oh my God. Dallas 911.
A woman made a terrifying discovery as she was driving into work.
It's a dead body on Ferguson. It's a lady. Oh my goodness. Somebody killed somebody. She dead.
Dallas investigators are immediately dispatched to the scene.
I got the call early in the morning, pull up to the scene. It's a semi-secluded area, as secluded as you can get for the middle of Dallas. Her body is just there on the ground, kind of up against the curb.
It looks like she's been shot multiple times in the head. Detectives find a spent 9mm shell case nearby.
Shortly thereafter, investigators locate an even more unsettling piece of evidence.
There's a used condom right next to her.
Which now makes them think, are they dealing with a sex crime?
CSI collects the evidence from the crime scene to send off for testing.
Once they identify some suspects, they can test their DNA against the DNA from the used condom to see if it's a match.
But first, they need to identify their victim.
She didn't have any ID on her, no property, no nothing. And when that happens, without knowing who a victim is in any case, you almost can't even start. You can kind of start playing around with missing persons reports and stuff like that and just seeing if there's anybody that kind of fits the description, but nothing's immediately jumping out. So we have to wait till fingerprints are done at the autopsy.
Detectives have to wait another 24 hours before the autopsy results arrive.
We don't find out who she is till the next morning.
The young woman is 22-year-old Malaysia Booker.
A lifelong resident of Dallas, Malaysia Booker was an avid social butterfly known for her humor and steadfast beliefs.
Malaysia was known by her friends as having a big personality. She was very likable. She was also a person that didn't take anything off of anyone.
Malaysia was filled with a strong sense of justice. She was inclined to always speak her truth, no matter what the consequences were.
As a young transgender woman, Malaysia had experienced many struggles in her journey to acceptance.
Malaysia grew up in a Christian home, a big Christian family. She found it very hard to live her truth of who she was.
It wasn't until Malaysia entered her late teens that she finally started coming into her own.
She became more outgoing, hanging around different people, more outspoken, more open with her lifestyle now.
It seemed like she had come out of her shell, and she was finally able to be herself. She was filled with joy and energy, and she was moving forward with that.
Amidst this new chapter in Malaysia's life, she was also on the lookout for love.
Love is something everyone wants, and Malaysia was no exception. But finding the love of your life when you are trans is a struggle all on its own.
Dating while trans is horrible because you meet a guy and if he don't know what's up, you know, he want to love you, wine you, and dine you. But if you do tell him up front, he completely treats you like a sex object, don't want to take you in public. You never know what you're going to run into.
But despite her dating struggles, Malaysia eventually found a man that seemed to accept her for exactly who she was.
Hey, baby.
Hey. Malaysia had a new boyfriend.
He was a truck driver, so he'd be in and out of town for days or weeks at a time. But the two of them really made an effort to see one another.
I'm so glad you're back. I missed you.
I missed you too.
It seemed like after all the struggles she had been going through, she was finally out in the world, publicly living her best life.
But now Malaysia has been identified as the mysterious Jane Doe, who was found shot to death in a remote area of East Dallas.
Because of the used condom located at the crime scene, police believe this was a sexually motivated crime.
But besides the evidence that police find, there's not much that they can go on.
There were no witnesses. There were no cameras. They were having a very difficult time trying to piece together what had happened to her.
So detectives turn to the World Wide Web.
We start kind of doing research on her, and that's when we find out about the previous assault.
Just 1 month before her death, Malaysia was brutally beaten and ended up in the hospital. Did they come back to finish what they started?
The summer of 2019, 22-year-old Malaysia Booker was finally coming into her own.
She was dating a guy who really seemed to embrace her new identity as a trans woman.
It was just the beginning for Malaysia. She had the whole world ahead of her. She was 4 years old in trans years. She was a baby, and she had a long life to live.
But on May 18th, Malaysia has been found shot to death on Dallas's east side. And investigators soon learn this wasn't the first bout of violence she'd recently faced.
We start kind of doing research on her, and that's when we find out about the previous assault.
On April 12th, Malaysia was involved in an altercation after a minor fender bender in an apartment complex in South Dallas.
She accidentally hit someone's car.
Several men got out of the vehicle and actually attacked her and could tell that she was transgender.
And the whole thing was caught on tape.
There were a lot of slurs of all sorts of kinds that were being shouted in her direction during the course of this assault.
They beat her so bad, she went unconscious. She ends up in the hospital with a concussion, brutally beat, and she had a fractured wrist.
While Malaysia recovered in the hospital, the video of her assault went viral.
I hate that it happened to her, but I'm glad that the world saw it. Because when the world sees it, you know, it makes them think twice. If the world don't see it, they won't do anything about it. It's like the saying, out of sight, out of mind.
It was shown all across the country, and it made headlines in the media. And the FBI had to get involved as they were investigating it as a hate crime. And there was one arrest.
Charles Quinn, the driver of the other vehicle that Malaysia hit, was charged with aggravated assault.
Following the incident, Malaysia's spirit remained strong.
At the end of April, she attended a rally where she called for justice for what had happened to her and for the transgender community at large.
For her to go through such a horrific moment in her life and to come out and to talk about it, to try to save other trans women's lives is amazing. We need to let the world know that we're here, we're not going anywhere.
Transgender advocates across the country now begin to rally behind Malaysia, and she starts attracting a lot of attention online on social media.
With Malaysia's newfound publicity, it raises even more questions for investigators.
With all the attention that Malaysia is getting, police wonder if this could be someone coming for her for a hate crime.
Or could one of the men involved in her previous attack have tracked her down and finished what they started?
Detectives' first step to finding out is looking into the man charged with Malaysia's assault, Charles Quinn.
It turns out Charles Quinn had a lengthy criminal record, which included a burglary and possession of a firearm by a felon.
But what's most alarming of all is what they discover next.
When they check Charles Quinn's status, they find that he has posted bond and he's out of jail.
And Malaysia was going to go into court and testify against him in her assault trial.
It's a coincidence detectives can't ignore.
He had the opportunity and the motive to murder Malaysia.
Malaysia's testimony in his pending court case could send him to prison for years.
We knew that was one of the angles we had to look at, was just to see if it was any sort of retaliation.
But when questioned by police, Charles denies any involvement in Malaysia's death.
Wait. I know how this looks, but I had nothing to do with this. I swear I didn't kill her.
And you don't know who did?
No, not at all.
As the investigators begin to dig even deeper, that investigation quickly runs out of steam.
Even though he had been bailed out, he was required to wear an ankle monitor. And we know those ankle monitors provide us with GPS information.
We were able to verify that he wasn't there, and we were able to verify to just kind of shore up that it wasn't anybody else affiliated with him. So it was almost immediately ruled out.
In their search for new leads, detectives turn to Malaysia's loved ones.
We go talk to the family, and really at that time, that's going to be our best lead, talking to the family. But they were upset, obviously. Nobody wants to hear that their child got murdered.
They are completely devastated. They just can't even imagine why someone would do this to her and that she is no longer here.
However, Malaysia's family is still able to fill detectives in on some vital information.
Malaysia Booker had kind of gotten onto hard times in this period.
They told the detectives that Malaysia was struggling to make ends meet, so much so that she was even living in a hotel.
She didn't want any help from anybody, and she just wanted to prove she could make life on her own.
And what's even more concerning is how Malaysia had been earning a living.
She's been escorting and doing sex work, all of this just to try to pay her bills.
Did Malaysia's new profession lead to her death?
In speaking with family members of murder victim Malaysia Booker, detectives have just learned she had recently started working as an escort on the streets of Dallas.
Sometimes trans women go down the wrong road because they're not accepted in places like the job workforce and things like that. We have to eat. We have to keep a roof over our heads.
Now investigators are wondering, did Malaysia's new profession lead to her death?
It's a very dangerous lifestyle. You don't know if your Johns are ex-felons or if they're drug addicts or married or anything like that. You're really just taking a chance on the activities that could occur.
There was a used condom found near her body. So was Malaysia killed by a John?
As detectives begin trying to answer that question, they receive an influx of tips in the case.
It became a very high-profile deal as a result of her being in this other assault, and the video of that had gone internationally viral. So there was the flood of information that we were collecting from every source that we can.
But while sorting through the sea of tips, one call gives investigators hope of finally making headway.
Hey, I got information. It said that you had information.
Yeah, give me 1 second. I'm just sitting in my car.
Of all of the dozens and dozens and dozens of outside information, there was really only one, and that was somebody calling in saying, hey, this is the last person that we know of that she was with.
The tipster says Malaysia was last seen with her close friend, Malcolm Irving.
He was with Malaysia an hour or hour and a half before she died.
Detectives don't waste any time. They give Malcolm a call.
Hey, this is Detective Gross with Dallas PD.
Hi, how are you?
Hey, I'm doing all right. Hey, I guess you and Malaysia are real close?
Yes, sir.
Malcolm admits he picked Malaysia up at the hotel where she was living in the early hours of May 18th.
I got off work at 12, maybe about 12:30 at night.
Okay.
Made it to her room around 12:45, 12:50. And Malaysia was at the room. We didn't leave back out of her room until like almost 2 a.m.
Okay.
That's when she finally got dressed and finally got ready. So I seen her, I talked to her, we laughed, we joked with each other all the way up until I dropped her off.
He said he gave her a ride to the area that she normally liked to work, the corner of Lego and Spring.
She was over off of Lego on Friday night?
Yeah, I dropped her off around 2:30 that morning.
That area was actually one of my beats when I was in patrol. So I was already very familiar with that area in the first place. There's also a frequent amount of transgender prostitution in that area.
And also, that was just a couple of miles from where her body was actually found.
Before Malcolm left Malaysia that night, he says a wave of fear came over him.
He was kind of concerned. Maybe it's gut feeling, maybe he's just worried about his friend, and he shared that with Malaysia.
And I asked her, I mean, are you protected out here? Are you safe out here? Do you have anything on your purse to make sure that you're going to be okay? She just grabbed my face, kissed me on my cheek, told me, Daddy, I love you. And she says she didn't have no weapon.
Okay.
She said, Daddy, you know, I'm going to be okay. If it's my time to go, then it's my time to go. Don't you worry. And that was the last word she said to me. Daddy, if it's my time to go, it's my time to go.
Malcolm said that was the last time he saw Malaysia, and he has no idea what happened to her after he dropped her off.
There's none of the other girls out there that you're cool with that might talk to me about who they saw her leave with or anything like that?
No, sir, because when I dropped her off, wasn't nobody out there.
Okay, so you don't know where she went?
No. I don't know what people would take her to or where they pick her up at or anything.
However, according to Malcolm, there's one more thing investigators should know about Malaysia.
Malcolm tells investigators that Malaysia recently started dating someone, but he doesn't know his name.
What Malcolm does know is that Malaysia's new boyfriend had been violent towards her.
A couple of months earlier, he had beaten her up and pistol whipped her.
You can get her in the face with a gun, but her face open.
Okay, and she didn't make a report about that?
No, I don't think the report was made.
Hoping for more information on her mysterious boyfriend, detectives speak with another close friend of Malaysia's named Cedric York.
Cedric seems to know a little bit more about Malaysia's relationship with this guy.
I know she was going back and forth between this truck driver that she had been sneaking and dating with.
Cedric says part of the reason Malaysia was so secretive about her new boyfriend is because he was married.
I guess he has a wife or whatever. I guess he's supposed to be straight, Della or whatever. And he was sneaking and messing with her.
But Malaysia refused to be kept a secret.
She notified his wife about their relationship, and he was not happy about that.
Dallas detectives investigating the murder of 22-year-old trans activist Malaysia Booker have just learned some unsettling information about her mysterious boyfriend.
None of her friends seem to know this guy's name, but they do know he was violent with her, and he was also married.
But nobody knows anything about him, like where he grew up, nobody's met him, but nobody knows his Facebook, anything like that.
No, because I had tried to ask her, like, do you know his number? I heard some stuff, she was just, it was a lot of stuff that she was hiding, like, she wasn't feeling about it.
When it comes to dating trans women or hooking up with trans women, a lot of those guys are very insecure. They want to keep it all behind closed doors. But you're doing this because you're attracted to this, and you're not brave enough to love that woman out loud.
Cedric says Malaysia was done living in the shadows, and she wanted out.
So Malaysia notified his wife about their relationship.
Malaysia blew up the whole relationship, and he was very upset about that.
He starts stalking Malaysia, he's calling her, he's making threats that he's going to kill her.
Cedric goes on to reveal one more concerning piece of information to investigators.
I've been calling her mom, and I'm thinking that he has her mom because he keeps answering it.
Okay, I mean, do you know the person's voice that's answering it?
It's a guy's voice.
Detectives now believe Malaysia's phone will lead them to her killer.
They immediately file a subpoena for her phone records.
And as they wait for the phone records to come in,
hey, come over here and check this out.
They obtain another crucial piece of evidence.
Detectives are able to get their hands on some surveillance footage from a building near the intersection of Spring and Lego Street, where Malcolm says he dropped Malaysia off. They're looking for any sign of who she may have left with.
And they get lucky. They find surveillance video showing her getting into a light tan vehicle around 3:25 a.m.
And that was about 2 hours prior to her body being discovered on the side of the road.
So we were pretty sure that was going to be the suspect, whoever had that vehicle.
However, tracking down the owner of the vehicle will be easier said than done.
There were some details about it that we couldn't make out, and we couldn't associate that vehicle to anybody.
They can't see the license plate, they can't see the driver.
But on May 21st, Malaysia's phone records finally come in, and what detectives uncover gives them a glimmer of hope.
Once we finally get these phone records coming back, we're able to locate the phone. Now we just have to go figure out who's holding the phone.
They see that it's pinging off in an abandoned building, so that's where they head.
When police first arrive at the location, there's no one in sight.
So they dial the number from Malaysia's phone. And they can hear her phone ringing in the distance.
Seconds later, a young man emerges from the building.
Oh, hands up! Whoa, 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 whoa. Hands up.
The ringing gets louder, and it's clear this man has Malaysia's phone.
Also, they notice that he has clothing stained with what appears to be blood.
Police immediately take him into custody.
All right, don't move. Hands back.
Back at the station, detectives begin questioning their new suspect, Noah Thorne.
But when detectives ask him about Malaysia Booker, he says that he doesn't know anything.
What kind of vehicle do you drive?
I'll drive anything. I'm homeless.
Noah says he's been living on the streets.
How did you find this cell phone?
He said that he had gotten the phone from another homeless friend of his and he kept it, but didn't know what the phone had been through or that it was possibly involved in a murder.
That really explains who it was that Malaysia's friends and family were hearing when they called the phone. It was the homeless man.
However, investigators aren't sure that they can trust Noah's account just yet.
And how did you get that on your shirt?
Oh, this? Got into a fight with some guy who was trying to steal my lunch.
There's blood on his shirt. So they do DNA testing, and what they find is that the blood does not match Malaysia's, and that his DNA actually doesn't match the condom DNA that is found at the crime scene.
It doesn't look like he's their guy after all.
Desperate for answers, detectives turn back to the GPS records from Malaysia's phone.
We know that the phone right after the scene had fled. It had made this weird little loop around the city, kind of stay stationary.
They find that this phone sat in the West Dallas area near McBroom Street.
Based on how long it stayed there, we're thinking the suspect might live in that area.
And when police search the area, they're in luck.
They did observe a vehicle that matched the description and the color of the vehicle that Malaysia was last seen getting into.
This time, they're able to get a license plate number.
They run the plate, and it comes back to 34-year-old Kendrell Lyles.
But that's not all.
Kendrell is currently in jail. He's a suspect in 2 other murders.
After tracking the movements of 22-year-old murder victim Malaysia Booker's phone, Dallas police have made a vital discovery.
They located the same vehicle Malaysia was seen getting into before she was killed, and they traced it to a 34-year-old man named Kendrell Lyles.
But what's even more surprising is where Kendrell is now.
Kendrell is currently in jail. He's a suspect in 2 other murders. Both murders took place just 1 week after Malaysia was killed.
The chaos began on the evening of May 22nd in the nearby jurisdiction of Collin County.
Around 9:30 p.m., police report to a shooting at an apartment complex in the northern outskirts of Dallas.
There, they find 35-year-old Letitia Grant shot in the head.
She's transported to the hospital and unfortunately passes away when she arrives.
Then, just 24 hours later, a shooting occurred just half a mile from the first one.
This time, the victim was 29-year-old Kenneth Shikaki. He was found shot in the parking lot of an auto parts store.
It didn't take long for Collin County police to zero in on Kendrell as the main suspect in both crimes.
Witnesses came forward tying Kendrell Lyles to both shootings.
Witnesses believe Kenneth's murder was due to some sort of drug deal gone wrong, but no one knows why Kendrell shot Letitia.
Letitia was a friend of his, and then he didn't know Kenneth before the incident.
Now, the detectives investigating Malaysia's death move Kendrell to the top of their suspect list.
Having someone that comes up as a suspect in 3 murders, to most people that sounds insane. Those are usually affiliated with gang crimes and things of that nature.
But detectives need more proof to pin Malaysia's murder on Kendrell.
What they decide to do is they decide to go back to where Malaysia was last seen and start asking questions.
Do you recognize this man?
Yeah.
Based on what they learned from other escorts, detectives don't believe Kendrell is the mysterious married man Malaysia was dating around the time of her death.
Instead, he was one of her Johns. He was someone well known to the escorts in the area.
Yeah, he's a regular around here, actually.
We realized, hey, Kendrell is in the area a lot, and it was not uncommon for him to get a transgender prostitute.
He was always at that location, drinking, picking up women, and hanging around there. Detectives found out that Kendrell went by a alias name and nickname of Mississippi.
They described Kendrell pretty well to a T, and we're like, oh, yep, we're definitely on the right track.
But according to the informants, Mississippi's behavior wasn't always so innocuous.
Hey, girl, let me get a taste.
Excuse me?
Come on, girl.
Hey, if you want some, you have to pay.
Mississippi, at one point, was noted getting into an altercation and became very angry, and actually got into a physical altercation with one of the escorts at the location.
When he didn't get his way, he brutally beat her, and people were witness to this crime.
He just kind of went a little wild. From what we knew of was the first really violent assault. You know, she survived, but her assault was pretty severe.
And when detectives pull Kendrell's phone records, they discover even more incriminating evidence tying him to Malaysia's murder.
On the night Malaysia was killed, Kendrell's phone GPS mirrors hers.
That phone was in his possession as he was driving to the area where Malaysia's body was discovered.
But the final nail in the coffin comes back in the form of DNA results.
Dallas police were able to obtain a sample of Kendrell's DNA from their counterparts in Collin County and compare it to DNA found at the scene of Malaysia's murder.
It's a match. His DNA actually matches the condom DNA.
At that point, yeah, it's unquestionable that he was at the scene. I confirmed his DNA is at the scene, as well as his phone records are at the scene. I mean, all of that together, like for my case, that's perfect. We know we got the right person. It's all him.
Now there's just one piece of the puzzle left. Kendrell's confession.
So detectives went to Collin County and interviewed him.
It was purely at that point just trying to get his version of what happened, his statement about what happened, purely for the question, why?
Tell us what happened on the morning of May 18th.
They give him all of the evidence that they have stacked against him in this case. And surprisingly, he does admit to picking Malaysia up.
Yeah, I picked her up. So what?
Unfortunately, though, that's all Kendrell admits to.
He gives some very general vague details where it's not even enough for me to discern whether he's talking about the initial assault that was prior to Malaysia's or if he was talking about Malaysia's murder.
You killed her, Kendrell. You shot her 3 times.
Nah, that wasn't me.
He absolutely refuses to acknowledge that he murdered anyone, and of course, he doesn't give any inclination as to what the motive would be regarding her murder.
It was not a very lengthy interview. He just denied overall, and then he terminated the interview.
Yeah, I'm done talking to y'all. Take me back to my cell.
Even though he is not admitting to this murder, the evidence points in his direction. The DNA, the fact that they know he picked up Malaysia, the fact that his car matches.
They had enough information to go ahead and charge Kendrell with the murder of Malaysia.
But without a confession, seeking justice for Malaysia will be no easy task.
The jury is going to want answers. They still want to figure out how did this happen and why did it happen.
Dallas police investigating the murder of 22-year-old trans activist Malaysia Booker have just charged 34-year-old Kendrell Lyles with the crime.
Kendrell is refusing to confess to the crime, so investigators are still trying to figure out why he did it. The jury is going to want answers.
Investigators have an idea from the surveillance and the telephone records that Malaysia was picked up on May 18th, 2019 at 3:25 a.m. between Spring and Lego Street.
Hey, want to go have some fun?
Get in.
She got in the car with Kendrell, thinking he was just another John, not realizing how dangerous he really was.
From there, they traveled to a secluded area in East Dallas to have sex.
But after they have sex and Kendrell tosses the condom out of the car, something went wrong.
I don't know whether they just had an argument over price, whether he just got mad over something else, whether he snapped. The only person that can tell me why is Kendrell.
I think him being scared to be outed caused her death. And it's sad. It's horrible.
Either way, he wound up drawing his gun and shooting Malaysia 3 times in the head and neck.
After Malaysia is dead, he tries to continue on with his life as if nothing has happened.
This man went on about his business while Malaysia is laying there. Like, how can you sleep at night knowing that you just murdered this lady for no reason?
But that wouldn't be the end for Kendrell's horrific crime spree.
A few days later, his violent impulses overpowered him, and he killed 2 more times. And this time, he would claim the lives of Kenneth and Letitia.
If it were not for the diligent work of the Texas police force, it seems like he would have killed again.
Now behind bars, the only thing left for Kendrell Lyles to contend with is the Texas Criminal Court.
With 3 murder charges, Kendrell now faces possibility of the death penalty in Texas.
When presented with the prosecution's case, Kendrell can finally see the writing on the wall.
He doesn't want to take his chances with a jury trial, so he wants to go ahead and try to plead with the prosecution.
In exchange for pleading guilty to all 3 murders, Kendrell is sentenced to just 48 years in prison.
Now, his release date will be 2068, and he will be approximately 82 years old.
It's essentially a life sentence, but is it enough? That's still up for debate.
The reality is, in 2068, you will have a killer back on the street. It's really a scary, scary thought.
If he's got these impulses to kill, I don't know if that would necessarily go away in 48 years.
But for now, Malaysia's life stands as a testament to the strength of a woman battling against all odds.
Being able to mold her energy, her love of this trans community in Dallas, it was a beacon of light. It was that hope that she was giving people out there, and it made it all more devastating when she was lost.
But I really don't think we would know that much about her had it not been for the fact that her beating, her terrible, horrific beating, took place on camera, and it went viral.
That's the only reason that anybody showed any interest in this case. If that had not been the case, there would not have been this flood of information, and she wouldn't be remembered by anybody other than me and her family.
I think it exposed the inner demons that are really living and breathing and walking around out there. It tells you something very dark and disturbing in our communities.
We all are given our choice of how we want to live out our life, and we all need to give each other respect for our humanity.
We need more trans activists out there in the streets, on TV, up in Congress, up in that White House. You know, we need...
Love is a journey 2 people take together. A journey of discovery.
She was a college student, a very, very smart girl with a bright future ahead of her. He had aspirations to be a rapper, and he was good at it.
They began dating. They became inseparable.
And when you're ready to ride or die, you have to be ready to go wherever the journey takes you.
She had two different lives she was living.
Who are you with?
I don't even want to say no name.
She was clearly a ride or die for him. She wanted to protect him at all costs.
Because sometimes the dying is real.
He is deceased in the passenger side of his friend's vehicle.
And sometimes what you find at the end of the journey isn't a life together, but a life sentence.
She was like, basically, if I did know, I wouldn't tell you.
She had this level of loyalty for him. She did what she had to do to help her man.
June 30th, 2012. It's a humid weekend in Baton Rouge, Louisiana.
Baton Rouge, as I knew it growing up, was a very lovely place, full of culture, very family-oriented.
But in the years since Hurricane Katrina, the city has changed.
After Katrina, when we had a lot of people moving from New Orleans and other areas into Baton Rouge, you had the rivals and you had the turf wars and that kind of thing, so the city started getting more violent.
Like most cities, you have the fear of walking alone or driving at night now because of the crime.
At 2 a.m. on this balmy Saturday morning, fear becomes reality.
911 is flooded with calls to the Baton Rouge Police Department.
We received a call that there had been a shooting.
When police arrive at the scene, they find a car sitting at a stoplight.
There was shattered glass all over the concrete and people were screaming.
They discovered that there were two victims that were injured.
The driver of the car, Andre Miles, has a bullet wound in his foot.
They were sitting at the traffic light and his foot was on the brake, and one of those shots that was fired into the vehicle actually hit him in the foot.
Andre tells the police that the shots were fired through the window at the passenger in the car, Jordan Key.
He's worried about his friend Jordan, who's also been shot. Officers take Jordan's vitals and they find that Jordan is deceased.
Our focus is now, who is this individual? We have to find out who is he so that we can start putting the pieces together.
Growing up, Jordan Key had always been the boy that everyone liked.
Jordan was a very loving child. He came from a family that was full of love, a joyous family.
He was such a hilarious kid. He loved to play jokes.
Jordan was very, very talented in more than one way. He can draw. He was also an amazing dancer.
When his family moved from California to Louisiana, the talented jokester quickly made new friends.
Jordan and Andre met in high school, and they became friends instantly.
They hung out a lot, and they were really like brothers more so than best friends.
Around that same time, Jordan also found his true ambition.
In high school, Jordan and Andre were both connected to the local hip-hop scene in Baton Rouge, and they were very well known.
I always wanted him to sing in the church choir because he had the talent, he had the gift, and he had the voice. But being a young man, he chose to do rap.
After high school, Jordan joined a local rap group, and he started recording as often as he could.
Jordan also wanted to further his education.
We were making plans of him entering into a community college.
With Jordan planning to go to college as well as his music career, he really had a bright future ahead of him.
But now, Jordan's promising future will never come to fruition.
Jordan Key, the deceased, had suffered a fatal gunshot wound to the head area.
When the devastating news reaches Jordan's family, they're heartbroken.
The morning I found out that Jordan had been murdered, I wasn't feeling really well on that day. And my dad called me. And he said, well, there's been an incident. Jordan and Andre were shot last night, and Jordan didn't make it. I felt as if the world had just completely stopped.
My daughter Gina called, and they always expect me to be the more calm one. But it wasn't a pleasant moment. There was a lot of crying.
Meanwhile, homicide detectives arrive on the scene and make contact with their surviving victim, Andre Miles.
Andre explains that after going to a party, he and Jordan were on their way home when they stopped at an intersection.
The two victims were sitting in the vehicle at a red light, just listening to music and talking. And all of a sudden, shots rang out. He felt this pain in his foot, and Jordan is not responding to him. And it was at that time he looked to his right and realized that Jordan was injured.
He says that he didn't get a good look at the gunman because the gunman came up from behind them on the passenger side of the car.
It isn't too much to go on. But as EMTs prepare to transport Andre to the hospital, the police find another witness.
James Logan was a security guard who was just getting off of his shift, and he says that he was at the light and saw everything.
James happened to notice a black male get out of the passenger side of the vehicle that was behind him.
James described the gunman as a black male wearing a white t-shirt and dark shorts.
While he's watching the guy walks over to the car and he pulls out a gun and fires 3 shots into the car.
As a security guard, James was armed. He told police that he got out of the car, drew his weapon, and told the man to drop the gun.
His bravery, there's not enough words to describe it. He didn't even think about it. Honestly, he thought like a first responder.
James says that the gunman jumped into a black sedan as it sped away.
He says the driver was also a black male.
As the vehicle sped away, James got the license plate number.
Investigators put out an all-points bulletin with the license plate number that James Logan provided.
The bulletin immediately pays off.
Right away, they get a hit. A patrol officer spots the car.
That officer immediately puts on his lights.
This officer is in full-on pursuit of the alleged murder suspects.
On June 30th, 2012, Baton Rouge police are in hot pursuit of the suspects responsible for the fatal shooting of 18-year-old Jordan Key.
The suspects attempted to flee the area, but the area that they tried to flee ended up being a dead end. They bailed from the vehicle and they fled on foot.
The officer chases them through the woods, but they manage to escape.
After detectives receive word of what's transpired, they swiftly arrive at the location.
Now police have a second crime scene to analyze, and that's the getaway car.
Inside the car, investigators find what they believe is the murder weapon.
There was a handgun on the back floorboard.
The gun appears to be jammed. This might explain why the suspects never fired any more shots at the witness or police who were chasing them.
Police hope that the vehicle's license plate is the key to tracking down the suspects.
We're running license plates and VIN numbers to find out who is this vehicle registered to.
The car is registered to a woman named Sienna Washington.
We knew that it was a female. We also knew from our witness that the individuals that were in the vehicle were definitely all males.
Was the car stolen? Or is there a connection between the suspects and the woman registered as the owner?
Investigators head to the address found on Sienna's vehicle registration, hoping to find the two perps there.
When detectives arrive at the address, they're met by a man who identifies himself as Sienna's boyfriend, Frederick Gaines.
Frederick told the detectives that Sienna was not at home. She was at work.
Something immediately stands out to detectives about Frederick.
Frederick is a match for one of the suspects seen fleeing from the vehicle.
We start inquiring about his girlfriend's vehicle. He informs us that she had been robbed.
He said the car was stolen in a recent carjacking.
Detectives are highly suspicious of Frederick. They ask him to come back to the station for a formal interview. Detectives begin by asking Frederick for more details about the carjacking.
The day before, somebody stopped her and demanded money. So she got out and they drove off.
Frederick insists he doesn't know anything about Jordan Key's murder.
You have anything to do with it? You were nowhere around College Drive tonight, right?
He denied any involvement. He denied just everything.
Frederick isn't willing to budge. And even though they believe he's one of the assailants, they don't have enough evidence on him to make an arrest.
Detectives soon get a call that sends the case spiraling in a new direction.
He said he knew the individual that did the shooting.
He said, you need to talk to Chatley Chesterfield and his girlfriend, Essence Dyson.
July 2012. Detectives in Baton Rouge are investigating the murder of 18-year-old Jordan Key, who was gunned down at point-blank range while stopped at a red light.
Police believe that a man named Frederick Gaines may be one of the assailants, but they need to gather more evidence before they can say for sure.
That afternoon, detectives receive a mysterious phone call that points them in a new direction.
According to the informant, the people responsible are local rapper Chatley Chesterfield, who goes by the name Chad the Youngin, and his girlfriend, 19-year-old Essence Dyson. The informant says that's all that he can tell them at this time and hangs up.
With just the names to go on, investigators start by checking their database.
When they do a background check on Chatley, they realize that he has been arrested before and has a few priors.
The arrests weren't for anything serious. In fact, they were classified as juvenile because he was only 17.
19-year-old Essence Dyson has also had some run-ins with the law.
She did have a criminal record. It was kind of minor. There was a simple robbery, a simple battery on her record. We wouldn't describe her as a hardened criminal.
Essence had a real good family. They gave her a lot of support.
She was adored by her mother and father. She was a college student at LSU, a math major, a very, very smart girl with a bright future ahead of her.
But Essence was no ordinary college student.
During the day, she was a student, and then during the night, she was, she had two different lives she was living.
Essence Dyson loved the hip-hop lifestyle, the thriving music scene in Baton Rouge.
She was very, very closely affiliated with a lot of these little rap groups that were feuding with each other.
And that's how she met Chad the Youngin Chesterfield.
He had aspirations to be a rapper, and he was good at it.
At 17, he was already on his way.
Chad was a part of the Kane Music Mafia. local rap group in Baton Rouge.
Essence met Chad at a party for prominent Baton Rouge rapper Mr. Kane.
And they had the same friends, and they hung around each other, and Essence would go to Chad's concerts, and her friends and his friends, they all would hang out.
They began dating. They became inseparable. The two were always together.
Was the murder of Jordan Key another incident in the violent feuds of the Baton Rouge music scene?
Jordan was an aspiring rapper.
Baton Rouge police were already investigating multiple incidences between the city's rappers.
There were multiple task force trying to get a hold of all this, and so these different groups were being identified, members of the groups. We just noticed that so many of them had a common name that was affiliated with them, and that name was Essence Dyson.
If Jordan was having a beef with Chad Lee Chesterfield, it would give him a reason for Chad's girlfriend, Essence, to be involved.
Investigators wanted to question both of them.
Detectives follow back up with the surviving victim, Andre Miles, to see if he knows them.
Andre says that he's known both Essence and Chatley for years.
He actually went to school with Essence, and he knows Chatley from the neighborhood.
In fact, Andre now recalls that he saw Essence not long before the shooting.
Andre had been working as security at a party, and he was waiting for the person who was supposed to pay him to come and bring the money.
There was this big parking lot where people would hang out after the clubs had closed. So Andre and Jordan were waiting there for the guy that was supposed to pay Andre.
Around 2 a.m., Andre and Jordan went into the store for a few minutes.
They went in and, used the restroom, but when they came out, they actually saw Essence.
Essence was standing there, and of course they stopped and had a conversation with her because they knew her.
Andre says they talked outside the store for a couple of minutes.
They stopped and they talked, just, friendly. What are y'all getting into? What are you doing after this?
They asked her if she needed a ride. She said no, she was waiting on her sister to come out of the store. Andre said that the interaction felt strange, like something was off with her.
After retrieving Andre's payment, the friends parted ways.
Andre said that they told Essence goodbye and left the parking lot. Minutes later, the shooting occurred.
To detectives, the timing certainly seems suspicious.
Their number one priority is now tracking down Chatley Chesterfield and Essence Dyson.
Later that day, detectives received word that although Chatley is nowhere to be found, police have located Essence.
We transported her to our office.
Will she be the key to finally unraveling this case?
She just had this very negative demeanor.
She was clearly a ride or die for Chatley. She wanted to protect him at all costs.
On July 18th, 2012, Baton Rouge detectives are sitting down with 19-year-old college student Essence Dyson regarding her possible involvement in the shooting death of Jordan Key.
A phone tip had pointed police toward Essence and her boyfriend, Chad Chesterfield. And Andre Miles, who was with Jordan when he was killed, told the investigators that he talked to Essence in the parking lot only a few minutes before the murder.
Getting any useful information out of Essence will be easier said than done.
She just had this very negative demeanor. Basically, if I did know, I wouldn't tell you.
Oh, okay. Who are you with? I don't want to say their name because I don't know if they want to be involved with the police. So I don't even want to say no name.
Detectives continue to press Essence, and she finally starts to open up.
She admits that she knows Jordan Key and Andre Miles and that she saw them that night at the store.
There was nothing nefarious about it. It was just a chance meeting.
Essence says it was soon after they left that she caught up with Jordan and Andre at a stoplight.
I was right behind their car, but I didn't see nobody walk up to the car because we was at the red light and I was on my phone. You know, you ain't supposed to. And I just heard gunshots. I look up.
What was the description of the guy that you saw?
He was like a little taller than me.
What color shirt was he wearing?
White.
And one thing she's sure of is that it wasn't Chatley.
And you're familiar with what the shooter would look like if it was somebody that you knew?
Yes.
There wasn't nobody that you knew?
It wasn't.
Essence said that she never saw her boyfriend, Chatley Chesterfield, that night. As far as she knew, he was at home the whole time.
Detectives ask Essence where Chatley is now. And that's when she completely clams up.
We kept pressing and pressing and pressing, trying to get information. Then finally, she was just like, I don't have anything else to say without a lawyer present.
You're digging yourself into a hole that you're not going to be able to get yourself out of. So that's your statement?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
I think you're making a terrible mistake. I think you're gonna regret this.
Can I just go home?
Until they can strengthen their theory that she and Chatley are behind this crime, they must let her go.
Now that they have a statement from Essence, tracking down Chatley becomes the focus of the investigation.
We have officers out and everyone's telling us that he's not there.
It was an elaborate plot by all of Chad's supporters to hide him. They even named it Run Chad Run.
It was just everywhere on social media. To think of the amount of people that actually participated in the Run Chad Run movement was disgusting.
The search for Chad eventually expands outside Baton Rouge.
The Baton Rouge Police Department enlisted the help of different law enforcement agencies.
We had the U.S. Marshals involved, state police involved.
It takes over 3 months, but the effort finally pays off.
They find him hiding out in Baker, Louisiana, which is just about 10 miles outside of Baton Rouge.
When they question Chatley, the investigators get straight to the point.
Were you involved in that shooting? No. Do you know anything about the shooting?
He denied being present. He denied everything.
Who put you up
did
to
not do it.
Okay, who did it?
I don't know.
So what you running for?
Cause if I turn myself in, then I ain't trying to go to.
He started off saying that he didn't know anything about the shooting, wasn't at the intersection. Then he changed it to say he had a friend there who looked like him, and maybe that's why they thought it was him.
The detectives keep pushing, and Chad's story changes again.
Tell me what happened.
I was in the car with Essence. I don't know if y'all know right now. I was in the car with her. I just seen somebody walk up and start shooting. I ain't gonna lie, I wasn't trying to see who it was because I was ducking.
Chatley claims that after they heard the gunshots, he and Essence took off.
Chatley said they never contacted the police because they did not want to get involved.
So that's a statement that you want to give?
I give that statement.
Chatley's version of events is entirely different from what Essence Dyson has told investigators.
Essence never mentioned him being with her that night, but Chad won't budge on his story.
In fact, Chatley downplays his relationship with Essence.
You and her tight then?
Who, me and Essence? I've been knowing her, but we ain't close like that. Like,
y'all not or y'all weren't?
We just talk to each other because we've been knowing each other.
Getting nowhere with Chatley Chesterfield, detectives decide to circle back to Frederick Gaines, who they still believe was the likely getaway driver in the crime.
Perhaps now that they have Essence and Chatley in their crosshairs, they could use that to get Frederick to flip.
And detectives are in luck.
He feels the walls are closing in on him, and he's ready to tell it all.
Frederick was just following orders.
In July of 2012, Baton Rouge police believe Chatley Chesterfield and Essence Dyson are behind the murder of 18-year-old Jordan Key. But with both suspects giving very different accounts of what happened that night, they're hoping the possible getaway driver, Frederick Gaines, can help them clear things up.
They want to speak to him again to see if he will flip on the other two.
If you willing to take the charge for pulling that trigger, that's on you. I know you didn't do it, but that's fine. That's totally up to you. It's totally up to you. Well, now's your time to help yourself. You've been there already. You see what I'm saying?
The threat of ending up back behind bars causes Frederick to cave.
He kind of felt like, okay, well, they got me now. He decided that I'm gonna come clean and make this right and just take responsibility for my actions.
You're gonna break it down right now with this total breakage.
Frederick admits that he was driving the getaway car that night, but claims he had no idea what was going to happen after he agreed to give his pal, Chatley Chesterfield, a ride home from the club.
He wasn't aware of what he was about to get himself into.
Frederick says that Chatley was constantly on the phone during the car ride.
Chad was talking on the phone, and he had the phone on speaker.
He was talking to Essence Dyson.
That's one of the chicks who Chad was, I guess, messing with at the time. So you recognized Essence's voice? Yeah, I recognized her voice.
And Frederick could also hear what they were talking about.
He said that Essence had been following Jordan Key that night for Chatley while he was doing his show at the club.
Essence told Chad that she'd spotted Jordan and his friend Andre outside a local convenience store.
Talking to Chad about telling him, you know, what they right here, right now. Chad was like, well, keep an eye on him. Stay close to him until we get there. Because we already in the car on the way. So now, when I hear this, though, I'm like, I'm asking them, like, man, what did they do? What's going on? Like, we got into it with him a few months back or something. We just catching up to him.
According to Frederick, Essence kept Chad continuously informed of Jordan's whereabouts.
I see them, they're over here, kind of giving a play-by-play.
When Jordan and Andre left, Essence followed them in her view. She continued to keep Chatley updated on where they were going.
Frederick and Chatley caught up with Jordan at a red light.
They pulled up to the light and he saw Essence clear as day in the car right behind Jordan Key.
He's like, well, that's the dudes right there in that first car. And that's Essence or whoever else in the car behind him was following him. And I'm like, so what you about to do? And he's like, we about to see you. Before I know it, he just jumped out my car.
Chatley went over to Jordan's side and opened fire.
As Frederick sat frozen in shock, Chatley ran back to the car and jumped in the passenger seat.
And once he got in, he was like, man, go. He was like, man, you better get us away, man. You can't get caught out here like this. I just made sure I got away.
But the two men didn't make it far.
He tried to outrun the police, but ended up taking a turn onto a dead-end road. So they abandoned the car and fled on foot.
After they bailed out of the car, he and Chatley split up. He made his way back to his girlfriend's house to lay low.
Frederick claims he was afraid to tell the police what happened in his initial interview.
I just seen you kill somebody.
Frederick said that he saw what Chatley did to Jordan firsthand, and he was afraid that if he didn't keep quiet, he would be next.
Frederick also says he's since learned why Chad wanted Jordan Key dead.
They had a disagreement and a problem that stemmed from some rap songs.
Both Jordan and Chatley were very talented local artists. Chatley was a part of Mr. Kane's Kane Music Mafia. Jordan was a part of a different group. And their beef started really over rap lyrics, and it just spun out of control.
They did have some type of rift between the two parties because some music had been taken away from the party that Jordan was with. So they were in a disagreement about that. But we didn't think it was anything that was of a major concern, that it would lead to Jordan's death.
The motive is the last piece of the puzzle.
After speaking with Frederick, detectives finally believe that they have a clear picture of what happened that night.
Essence and Chad were both charged with second-degree murder.
Police also charged Frederick Gaines with accessory to murder.
Since Frederick agreed to cooperate with investigators and testify against Chatley, his charges are eventually dropped.
Investigators are hoping the same type of deal works on Essence.
She could get her charges reduced if she pled guilty and testified against her man.
Their biggest priority at this point is getting a guilty verdict for Chatley, since he was the mastermind and the triggerman.
But prosecutors never could have imagined just how dedicated Essence really was to Chatley, Chad the Youngin' Chesterfield.
She felt like Chatley was her ride or die.
I think she would have felt that she betrayed Chad.
By the fall of 2012, police in Baton Rouge, Louisiana, have finally pieced together what happened in the tragic murder of 18-year-old aspiring rapper Jordan Key.
Investigators believe that a rival rapper, Chatley Chesterfield, who goes by the name of Chad the Youngin', targeted Jordan with the help of his girlfriend, Essence Dyson.
Chatley and Jordan apparently had beef over some stolen rap music.
With Chad Chesterfield identified as the shooter, the prosecution hopes Essence will agree to testify against him at trial.
The district attorney was willing to reduce the charges against Essence in return for information that would guarantee a guilty verdict against Chad, the person that actually pulled the trigger.
To everyone's surprise, Essence refuses to make a deal.
Essence Dyson stuck to her story. She said that she couldn't testify against Chatley because she had no information to give prosecutors.
I think she would have felt that she betrayed Chad. So Essence didn't want to testify.
She felt like Chatley was her ride or die. She refused to turn against him.
In November of 2015, Chatley Chesterfield and Essence Dyson go on trial in East Baton Rouge Parish.
The trial was very emotional. The courtroom was full every time we went. Not just with our family and friends, but his friends and family as well.
There was a lot of tension between the Chad and Essence friends and family side.
However, Essence and Chad aren't bothered by the tense mood in the courtroom.
Passing notes and talking and giggling and that sort of thing. Kind of like kids. I'm not sure if either of them understood the severity of what they were facing at that time.
She was smiling like nothing had ever happened.
I had to indicate to both of them that they had to be aware that the jury was always paying attention and looking, so they have to not be as playful or joyful, because this was a serious case.
Their apparent lack of remorse plays into the prosecution's argument.
Essence and Chatley were intentionally looking for Jordan Key to murder him in cold blood, and Essence did what she had to do to help her man. Ballistics confirmed that the weapon found in the abandoned vehicle matched the shell casings of the weapon used at the crime scene.
The evidence gathered from the getaway car proved that Chad Chesterfield was one of 2 men who fled the scene of the shooting.
There was DNA evidence on the handles of the car doors, on the murder weapon, and throughout the car.
But Essence Dyson was in her own car, and her attorney tells the jury that she had nothing to do with the shooting.
Our defense was that this was a chance meeting, and while Essence was present in the area, she didn't have any criminal culpability in any of this.
Her lawyers argue that even if she did let Chatley know where Jordan was, she never knew that he was going to kill him.
When the case goes to the jury, they side with the prosecution.
They find Essence guilty of second-degree murder.
She was sentenced to life without the possibility of parole.
Chatley is also found guilty of second-degree murder. But since he's underage, his sentence is decidedly less harsh than Essence's.
Chad, who was 17, could not receive a life sentence without parole.
He would be eligible for parole in 30 years.
Even though Essence was his accomplice, she could end up doing more time in prison than him simply because of their age differences.
While the sentences come as a relief to Jordan Key's family, they bring little comfort.
To me, they got what they deserved, but you're not gonna ever forget it. It's like, yeah, justice has been served, but what about the families that's left behind to grieve?
Not only have I lost my child, but he was robbed of the opportunity to show the world who he was, show the gifts that God had given him that was for the world to see.
One thing that I would want people to know about my grandson is that there was greatness on the inside of him, and it was taken away.
Essence Dyson will forever live with the consequences of the murder she helped her man commit.
I just wish that this could have been avoided. Maybe she could have gotten that degree in math and been working for NASA.
A person like her comes from a great background, the type of family she had, the type of future that she would have had. I think it's unfortunate that she had this level of loyalty for him because it ended up costing her her freedom.
To young women, please don't get yourself tied up with these guys that call themselves gangsters and, you know, this is kind of lifestyle with the fast money and the cars. That's not all it is to life. You know, you can do better with your life than that.